everyone. I have never been more excited about a webinar than I am about this one today. And I mean that in all seriousness, as a former advisor myself from way back. By the way, I'm Vic Raye, National Director of Banking Services. I work closely with the other members of the Wealth and Banking team, who are Alex Chen in the West, Graham Allen in the East, and Jason Payne. We also are all working very closely with the insurance VPs and BDEs who support you as well. On the insurance side, I'm in a unique position in that I get to work on both the insurance and the seg fund side, helping Alex and Graham and all of the VPs and BDEs and all of yourselves individually, growing both your insurance and your seg fund business, whatever that mix may be. And that is because banking is really the ultimate marketing app. It is a modern way to connect with your key markets and clients. The question I would be asking yourselves is, who would you rather talk to all day long if you could? Would you talk to people with money that you know have $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 sitting in an account, or probably in a good mood, can have the means to act, have the authority to act? Or would you just talk to people at random? The answer is most likely self-evident. And as I've noticed here in my 4.5 years at IDC, and even before that, successful salespeople have an ability, a knack or an ability, or both, to get in front of people with money and connect with them. And that's why I feel that this presentation today is so important. I can't think of a better way, a modern way to do it, than using the 2 Advantage account promos that are currently going on. And then on top of that, we're going to have a comp increase starting January 1, going back up to 25 basis points. This is the most exciting news for independent advisors who are looking to grow their income that I can think of in probably the last 5 years. So I'm going to jump in during the course of this presentation with my own comments. I just wanted to kind of set the stage. And if there's one thing that you can all do quite easily, it's just to alert your clients to the fact that this opportunity is out there. People with money don't always know about all the promos that are going on. We're going to be talking specifically about the Manulife Bank Advantage Account business and personal promos, which in my mind are quite separate and distinct from the underlying accounts. We don't need to help our clients open bank accounts. They all have them. It's the promos that are the key. That's what they're not hearing about. And all you have to do is let your clients know through conversation at the bottom of your emails and newsletters that you have access to special promo bonus rates for regular bank accounts, CDIC insured, both business and personal, and can you send them the link? Your clients will run with it. They book their own hotel rooms, they book their own airplane flights on their iPhones. They can do this as well, just as easily. It's highly referable, highly shareable. It is truly a marketing gift, a magnet perhaps, for our industry, for every independent advisor who's looking to grow. And whether that's looking to grow by getting 100 new clients or looking for a handful of high-end corporate insurance business owner clients, where you're looking to perhaps do some key man or buy-sell agreements. Whatever your status is in the industry, these accounts can help you. Of that, I am convinced. So joining me today is, I'm going to call it the Manulife Bank Advantage Account Brain Trust. I'm so honored to have this team here. We have, and again, this is a tribute to Manulife to be able to put these people in front of us. This is something they're doing for us at IDC. So Joanne Martiri is the National Accounts Head for Ontario and Atlantic. She will introduce her team, but just briefly, they are Pam Crignelli, Jessica LeBlanc. These people are the Brain Trust. They know this program. They know the promo in particular, which is what we want to focus on today. And so with that, Joanne, I'd like to turn it over to you to do the formal intros.
Okay, thank you so much, Vic. I love your enthusiasm. We couldn't be happier to be here today as well. I want to just start off by saying on behalf of Manulife Bank and the entire team behind, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank you for your ongoing and continued support. And, we are here and will be here throughout today's presentation to answer any questions you may have. And what I was going to say, Vic, because we've already started seeing some questions coming in on how to do this. How does an advisor get started? So stay tuned. We're going to talk about all of that. And before, what I'd like to do is turn it over to our panelists, but I'd like to introduce them. And Vic, you did a great job, so thank you. We have, again, joining us today is Pam Crunelli. Many of you who joined us a few months ago may remember Pam. She did an outstanding job talking about the Advantage account. Pam is actually the product manager for deposits, and we'll be talking throughout today's presentation on both the personal and the business account. I'm also excited to welcome Jessica LeBlanc. Jessica's on the bank client services team, and we brought Jessica in today because she actually supports the business Advantage account. So she'll be here to answer any questions additionally that we may have. With that, I am delighted to turn it over to these lovely ladies. And Pam, let me start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for the invite. Like Vic said, this isn't something we do in our day to day. We're not, Jess and I aren't usually the ones that are in front of advisors. So this is a great chance for us to deliver the message and hear your feedback, see your questions. And I'm really grateful for Jess. She's our subject matter expert on the application process. So I can answer all promo and product related questions, and I have a buddy with me to help me on the other side. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through. Keep your questions coming. Joe will monitor, and we can easily pause for questions throughout when if they're relevant. So before I dive into promotional details, the application process, and any questions you have, I just want to take a minute to talk about why. Oftentimes when clients are thinking about their finances, looking to reach out to advisors, get advice, try and get their finances in a healthy state, they often are thinking about their insurance and their investments. Checking savings accounts not usually come to mind because that's something they can do on their own. Like Vic said, they can book flights, they can book hotels, they can open bank accounts. That's something they just assume is part of something they manage. However, oftentimes the amount that they accumulate in idle cash sitting in those accounts can be quite substantial. And when they're with a big five, they're not getting any return. So being able to offer these accounts to your client is a win-win. It gives them a higher return on their dollar, even on their idle cash. It gives them some value back instead of it just sitting there. It also helps when you're able to offer them something and maximize their dollar. They're going to build trust in you. It is a great opportunity as well to offer them the full suite of financial services that they need. I'm sure most of you are familiar both in your practice and in your personal life. When you're banking with a financial institution, they're cross-selling. They're trying to sell your clients insurance. They're trying to sell them investments. If you can keep them out of that, it's essentially like putting your arms around them and protecting your business and being able to have their bank accounts under your whole portfolio offering. It allows you to see their full 360 view of their financial situation. And for some people who are setting up a savings account as an emergency cash fund, and maybe they only need $10,000 in it, but they just keep saving out of a habit, and all of a sudden it's up to 50,000. You have oversight of that to be able to offer them more advice, more opportunities to then further their financial situation. And the best of all is it is a very easy solution to offer. It's easy to set up a bank account and it requires minimal maintenance. Now, I would maybe counter, I would say the actual account itself is the bells and whistles. Being able to get a return on idle cash that's significantly above what you could get elsewhere is great. It is going to pay them for months to come, and it will compound and grow their savings. However, the promotion gives you something to start that conversation. It gives a kickstart to their savings. They'll get a boost at a higher rate for a period of time. But then when that stops, they'll keep earning interest well above what they would get elsewhere. So with that, I am going to we'll start with business accounts first. Our current promotion is 5%, and we are offering that to clients for 6 months. So all new accounts open for a Canadian Business Advantage account will earn 5% for 6 months starting the day they open the account. And we will pay that 5% on deposits up to $2 million. But even if they were to deposit, let's say $3 million, that extra million is still going to earn them the 2.85 on that full additional surplus. So that's a great rate for a business account. For those not as familiar with the Business Advantage account, it is built to be a savings, so a complementary to their everyday checking account. A lot of businesses use it as a vehicle to park idle cash. They need to keep cash available for business needs, but they need a return on it. So, and you can link it with your operating account at another bank and transfer money back and forth online in a day. So it's very easily accessible, no fees to do those transfers, and you're getting a premium rate. The one point that I do want to clarify, it does come up a lot in questions, is what is an eligible deposit? We consider an eligible deposit as anything that is net new to Manulife Bank. So for example, if your client has a personal account with us, opens up a business account and transfers money from their personal into their business, that would not count as an eligible deposit, as it's not a net new deposit to Manulife Bank. So any deposits coming from an external source, whether it be a transfer, an e-transfer, a check deposit, that is money coming into the account externally and would qualify for that 5% rate. The application method for this account currently is paper application. I do have a few slides. We'll go through that, as I know that there are questions about the application method, as that is how you unlock the savings for your client. So we will get to that and go through it, and feel free to ask questions. I do want to touch, though, this business account offer also is applicable to your client's existing Business Advantage accounts. We do recognize it is not as straightforward opening an account for a business applicant as it is a personal applicant. You'll need proof of documentation. There's generally more than one person involved, whether you've got signing officers or estates, where you're dealing with executors, beneficiaries. So we have proactively applied this promo to all of our existing business accounts. So what that means is they're also getting that 5% on any net new money they deposit to Manulife Bank. The only difference with their offer is because they're not getting account open, so that we're not starting the clock, 6 months from the day the account is opened. They have a 6-month window for when they can deposit money and earn that 5%. So for them, it's any new deposits October 4th all the way to March 31st next year. Any new deposits, they are earning that 5%. And what's even better is they or yourselves don't need to do anything to opt in. It's already automatically applied to all of their accounts. It's in force now, and it was just automatically given to them. We did email all our clients. We've sent out emails to our advisors. I hope you've all received them. If not, definitely filter that back to Joanne. We can look into that. But those are the details of the promotions. And for those of you that are hearing about this for the first time, here's a little flavor of the marketing tools we have available on Advisor Portal for you.
There's a couple questions actually before we move on to this page here. One that I was actually thinking we get in, but I'm actually glad somebody asked it in the chat.
Sure.
Is, are we thinking of moving? Well, the first question is, why do we have a paper app with a corporate account versus the online for the personal? And the second part of that is, are we thinking of perhaps moving away from a paper-based application at some point? If you could just maybe help us understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for any of those who have been long supporters, know that we used to have a online advisor application for the business accounts. This is going back, I want to say 7 years. There was a whole bunch of regulatory requirements that came into effect on business accounts. In order to remain compliant, we had to turn off our online application because of the complexity of all this information that was required for us to obtain to be able to open it. So that's when we reverted back to our paper application. And at the time when we did that, the majority of our volumes of applications were predominantly paper. So I want to say it was probably over 80% of the applications we received at that time were coming in paper. However, as the world's become more digital, everyone has a need for making things online, convenient, and getting away from paper and manual efforts. We are actually working on bringing this application back online. So I don't have timing. I will say there is a lot of work underway, and I feel confident at the beginning of the new year, Q1, this will be rolled out so advisors can go back to submitting business applications online.
Okay, I love your confidence. That's great. Second question is coming in from Jeff. What constitutes an eligible business or sole proprietor?
Yeah, so we offer the Business Advantage account on a wide range of products. So there is, first of all, trust and estates are eligible. We have sole proprietorships, partnerships, corporations, community clubs, condo corporations, charitable organizations, associations. I'm not sure. Jess, am I missing any? Or is that?
No, that's all of them.
Yeah. And then within the application, we'll go through that next. Depending on the type of product or type of business that it is, there's a chart that tells you what documentation needs to be submitted for that type of business.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Joanne and Pam, what I'd like to add is just since you've got that slide on the marketing material, which on the left there is an ad where advisors can put in their information. Ken McCoy just sent out a little note to all of us saying that he just did some ads for the personal account. This is, again, a great opportunity for me to jump in and not try to front load it in my opening comments. Ken, you've hit on a huge point. This is not a referral type arrangement where you have to be careful about how you market it and doing advertising and so forth like it is on mortgages. This is an agency type product, no different than RRSP loans, investment loans. You can advertise this, promote it to the public, promote it to prospects, not just clients, existing clients. This is no different than promoting anything else that you have on the life side that you wish to advertise publicly. Actually, at one point, way back, Manulife Bank had these green stickers that were glued on the opposite side. For those of you who had glass doors at your offices, you could put like Manulife Bank, CDIC insured authorized dealer. It was brilliant. I mean, it was just superb marketing. And again, I want to emphasize that this is something that as a life agent, you can do. It's a huge plus over IROC advisors who can't do this. They can't do off-book business like this. They're stuck marketing their in-house bank-owned products. Huge win for independent life agents.
So while we have a subject matter expertise on the call, and I think it's timely to take a few minutes just to look at the application, I did want to just go through it high level, point out a few areas where we often see issues, and open it up. If you've been doing business applications for us a while and you always get stuck on something, ask while we're on the call. Maybe we can help resolve, a previous pain point you've had and make it easier for you going forward. So the first part of the application is gathering information on the business applicant. What I'm walking through here is an example of a corporation, but as you can see, you can check other boxes. It could be a partnership, a community account, a trade union. You can check whatever one is applicable. We do have a standalone application for trust and estates that we launched last year. It used to be part of this application. It was very confusing and causing some frustration. So we broke it out. So there is a specific one for trust and estates, should you be looking for that. So what I would want to emphasize the most is make sure you're filling out all the fields. We have gone through these applications in detail and always question the requirement of the field. So if there is not a requirement to have a field, we're not going to ask it. So please make sure all fields are filled out. What's unique to businesses, especially corporations, is they often have like a legal registered name, but then what they operate as is a different name. In this situation, it's a numerical incorporated number is the actual legal name. They operate though as Joe's Diner. if the client is looking for the account to say Joe's Diner, when submitting the application, please include proof showing what their operating name is so we can add it to the client's account. Also, another spot where we often have to go back for additional information is the primary function of an account. We often see people put in holding company. Unfortunately, because this is a regulatory question, we can't accept holding company as it really doesn't describe in any detail what exactly it is. There is a form included with the application kit that has a full comprehensive list of all acceptable answers for that question. So I'd encourage you just to look at that form, find the type of business most appropriate for the business and write it in as it is on that sheet. That'll ensure you don't have any issues with that field. Moving along to owners, there is the section, you'll see as I go to the next screen, you can include up to 4 owners. In the case where you're including more than one owner, there is a field where you have to put the percentage ownership of the owner. Please ensure they all add up to be 100%. In this case, you'll see Joe Clark owns 50%, and then Alex Clark owns the other 50%. So just make sure when having more than one, you want to make sure they add up to the full percentage ownership. Another part where I want to draw attention to is for each owner, depending on how tax classification questions are answered in section 2, we may require additional information about the owners. This is regarding their tax residency. So if they are required to pay taxes in Canada, are they required to pay taxes in the US and then elsewhere in the world? Again, these are regulatory questions that are hard stops for us. We are not able to open an account without gathering this information first by law. So please just make sure we're providing that information. Also, signing officers. These are the people on the account that we require to be properly ID'd. So you as the advisor can review their ID on our behalf. You do not need to photocopy and send it in. You do need to verify it and input the information. And then that will satisfy our ID requirements and let us know who we're dealing with and who has the authority to act on the account. And last, for the applicant information, there is a section for you to sign. So this section is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, another regulatory question. We're in banking, so we get lots of regulations we have to follow. We need to know if the client has a pre-existing relationship with you. So were they an existing client of yours, or they approached you just to open up this account? And then you want to make sure you're completing the advisor information. So 2 main reasons why. First of all, so that we can contact you for any follow-up if we need additional information, as well as putting in your representative code ensures that you are the advisor of record for this client. That means you'll get the comp. And as Vic mentioned, it's increasing the very beginning of 2024. So we want to make sure you're being properly compensated for the work that you're bringing to us. As well, being the advisor of record allows it to show in your book of business. So you can go in and see in your bank reporting balances for your clients to help you, find opportunities to further assist them with their finances. And then there's the chart at the bottom right below where you sign, giving the identification documentation that is required based on the type of business. In this situation, it is a corporation, so we do need a banking resolution completed. There is a section to fill how many are required to transact on the account. So if you have 3 signing officers, you may just require 1 signature to make a transaction. Other corporations or businesses may require at least 2 need to authorize any transaction. So you'll put that number in there. That way we can ensure that the proper administration of your account is adhered to. And then we need their signatures. So this will provide us a copy of their signature on file, as they are the ones that have the authority to transact on the account. We need the signature so we can compare and ensure they're properly using the account and know when that shouldn't have authority is. The last part is the product information. So which account do they want? Do they want a Canadian savings? Do they want a US savings, or do they want GICs? There also can apply for more than one account within the same. You don't need to complete more than one of these forms. Just check the boxes to indicate what all they're interested in. A few things under additional services, they can request, so they can order checks on the account. We do offer tax payment and filing services. The one thing I'd like to point out here is those are additional fees. So if they are checking off either of those boxes, a deposit needs to come with the application, or else we won't be able to order checks for them if there is no money in the account to fund it. And then to round it out, a couple more regulatory questions. We just need to know if it's a third party that will be benefiting from this account and the primary intention of the account. So are they planning on using it as their primary account, or are they using it as a savings account? And back on the banking resolution where I indicated that we need to know how many of the signing officers need to authorize any transaction, this number here needs to match what you put on the banking resolution. And the application here needs to be signed by all the signing officers indicated in the application. So if there's more than one, let's say there's three, we need all three to sign the application.
I've got a couple of questions before we move, if we're going to be moving on the actual application. And I want to just say thank you to everybody who's submitting a ton of questions coming in. Keep them coming. But specifically on the app, Ian is asking a couple, and I think there's even others asking some of the same questions. The first one is, where do we find the paper-based application or the copies of the paper-based? And the second part of that question is, can the paper application be completed electronically and signed electronically? So let's start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they are posted on Advisor Portal. You can log in and print it off there, or you can order it through Custom Point where you can get them printed and mailed to you. They are, if you grab the one, if you're not ordering them and having them shipped to you and you're just taking it off Advisor Portal, it is a fillable PDF version. So yes, you can fill it all out. I believe you can electronically sign that, but I am going to just have Jess jump in and confirm that they can be digitally signed and submitted.
Yes, we do accept electronic signatures. And if you do sign it electronically, make sure that you send the certificate of realization of the electronic signature. It's like a certificate that comes with it. For example, DocuSign would have a certificate of DocuSign of all the confirmations of electronic signatures that has to be sent as well.
Okay, thank you, Jessica and Pam. Another question, and I think you touched upon this, but maybe we just can reiterate for those that are asking. So just to confirm, any new money deposited into an existing corporate advantage account will get 5% until the end of March, to March 31st. Is that correct, Pam?
As long as it was deposited between October 4th and March 31st, yes. And and that it's coming from an external source. It has to be new money to Manulife Bank in that window. And yes, that will qualify for the 5%.
So that's the thing, is the new money. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Ian's asking, where's the form? Advisor Portal. I don't know if this is something you girls can answer. Maybe if we don't have the answer, we could take it away. But somebody is asking, Arvin's asking, can we split the commission with another advisor?
Yes, you can have more than one advisor on account and split it.
Great.
Okay.
I get that question a lot as well. Maybe something to highlight, actually, bring it up front and center. A lot of advisors have teams, especially if they're bringing like a more a veteran advisor may bring on a new person, and they just may want to, have both names on the account for comfort purposes, that, I'm still your advisor, but my associate's on it as well.
Yeah, and you can do that both for the purposes of compensation or for the purposes of just having access. So you could put two advisors on the account, one getting 100% compensation and the other one not, or you could do 50-50 where you split the compensation. We just need instructions on how you want that set up.
That is superb. I would actually, if I could give you one suggestion, that would be one to really highlight. We have a lot of team-based advisors out there that who want to bring in and perhaps use this as a source of revenue for a junior individual working with them, I think that would be superb. And I assume this also applies to personal advantage accounts, correct?
It does. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
beautiful.
It applies to all the deposit accounts.
And then just there's a ton of questions on, so we will send out the presentation, and there's other questions on the marketing material, all of that. I think Pam kind of went through that slide. All of that information, all of those marketing pieces are available on the advisor portal. And Pam, one of the questions that came through was, are those marketing pieces available to as client facing?
Yes. So there is the sales flyer. There's email banners and web page banners if you have your own website and you want to put a marketing banner on top. There are social posts, I believe LinkedIn, Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram, I believe Twitter's there. So there's the appropriate size images for all those platforms that you can post it up on yours. It speaks to the client, and I believe also a digital postcard. Email template that you can copy and paste and fire off to your email or your client list. There's a full listing for both the business and personal for you.
That is absolutely wonderful, Pam. I can't say enough good things about that range of tools that you just described, because this is, again, all at the front end. This is the part of the business that is so important to advisors, just to be able to have that turnkey material ready to go. And again, this is something, if you're life licensed only, you can market at will. And so to be able to, like even this application form, I'm going through it as you were going through it, thinking, this is what you want to hear. This is the information you want about the business owners in a company. If you're going in to see them for the first time, if you're going to come back to work on a life case, a couple of weeks later. So again, a great way to get introduced to new business owners who you do not know, and they have a strong incentive with the promo to go through the application and get it done.
Yes, that's, I was going to say, Vic, you're right. There's no reason here how, that an advisor needs to kind of not have the support they need to really go out and promote it. Before we move on, Pam, there is a question, I guess, on the chat side, and you talked a little bit about sort of the multiple signatures required on the application. So Gord is asking, for multiple signatures, how many are available on the application?
For the signing officers, up to 3. Okay, and just to kind of round out the business, although we, did a quick walkthrough on this call, I just want you to know that there is a robust set of self-help guides, FAQs, take 5 videos for you on Advisor Portal. And all of these are generally created based on trends we're seeing. So if we're finding that someone or that a certain section on an application is often an area where we need to follow back up on, we'll post that in these self-help guides to help minimize and help educate and provide you the tools you need to submit an in good order application. So we have tools that range from how to complete the application to very specific in terms of what do you need for to submit with an estate, or information on condo corps. So there's a wide range and covers it all. So definitely encourage you to go there and familiarize yourself with the content and to help you with your application process.
And we could certainly send out that FAQ, after the call. Pam, a couple more questions. Maybe some of these might be also for Jess, but can you set up an account for a client who is not in the province you're licensed in? And then the second part of that is this commissioned or a referral fee like the Manulife one? So we can answer those first.
Yeah. Yep. So yes, you could submit for a client, like if you're in Ontario and they're in Quebec, you will probably, unless you travel there, you would need to use the DocuSign electronic signature so that you can get their proper applications. And yes, this is a ongoing fee compensation. So for every, there is no upfront. So right now it's 10 basis points starting January 1st, 2024. You're going to get 25 basis points based on the client's minimum monthly account balance. You'll get that payment monthly, ongoing, as long as the money keeps in the account.
And maybe just to add to that, because of the way that second question was phrased about commission versus referral, this is considered commission, whereas a referral fee or referral commission is different than just an agency commission. So this is no different than anything else that you would do on the life side, seg fund side. The referral thing is important because IROC firms don't allow referral arrangements. Anything off book like this would not even be allowed. And my understanding is that some MFDA firms may treat this type of account as a referral, even though it technically isn't maybe a referral, as a mortgage would be. They still want to, manage it or supervise it. That's not the case on the life side. Huge advantage for us.
Yes, that's correct, Vic. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, and then one more question, I guess, on the corporate account. Must the advisor be licensed in the province of signatories, shareholders, and/or province or incorporation?
I am fairly confident. No, I don't think we validate the licensing of the advisor as to the location that the business operates in. Just shaking her head no. So I guess now I'm 100% confident. No, we don't.
Right.
Okay, so let's dive into the personal advantage account offer. And if there's more business account questions, we can easily take that at the end. That's not a problem. I just want to make sure we cover the personal offer as well. So on the personal account, we are offering 5.25% for 4 months on all new Canadian dollar non-registered accounts opened. And like the business one, the clock starts on the day they open the account, and they will get that for 4 months, as long as the application is submitted before December 15th, and we'll pay that promo rate up to $500,000. Same criteria for eligible deposits as on our business accounts. It must be coming in directly into the new Advantage account from an external source. So let's say a client has an Advantage account, they open up a new one to take advantage of the offer. If they transfer money from their old Advantage account into the new one, the system will not qualify that as a promotional deposit, and they would just earn the 2.85 base rate, not the 5.25. I will quickly touch on all the application methods for this account, but every application method we offer are all acceptable in order to qualify for the promotion. And before I jump into the applications too, another thing I want to point out, just with everybody being so digital and on all the social channels, promotions in the personal space are more well known. People are being served them. They generally have some visibility on them. I would make sure, if you ever are talking about promotions and you get resistance being like, oh, well, I can get 5% from Tangerine or whatever, whoever they're seeing. It's very important to look at the details of the promotion. It's not always an apples to apples comparison. A lot of the promotions have additional steps in order to qualify for that rate, at least the top rate. What we see commonly out there is you must also open a checking account with the savings account, or you must direct your pay into the account. There are some that offer like a tiered time in order to get the top rate. So that meaning you have to leave the account in there for 360 days before you're going to get their top promotional rate that they're marketing. Otherwise, you're going to get a much lower promotional rate. Also, a lot of other financial institutions, it's to new clients. So you can't have an existing savings account with that institution or else you won't qualify. Whereas us, it's a new account. If you already have an Advantage account with us, want to open up a new one to qualify, absolutely fine. That is eligible for us. So just some key things to keep in mind. I'll get to it later in the slide. I have a visual to show, but it's also very important to pay attention to the posted rate post promo. So while the headline rate is great and it's a great reason to start a conversation with your clients, after that 4-month period, the rates, when they revert back to their base rate, at some places are significantly lower. And so earning that promotional rate for 3-4 months doesn't necessarily make the client further ahead when they go back to earning less than 1% after that time period. So just some things to keep in mind, and some responses to clients when they, have concerns or are questioning the promotions. Just like we do on the business side, these are the visuals and the copy for the personal side. We offer all the same marketing materials in the same formats on personal as we do for business, and they are all posted on the campaign page for you to use. And like Vic said, you can, throw it up on your Instagram page. You can put it on your website. You can go scream it from the rooftops. These are products that you can sell and market and be out there for. So on the personal side, we have several application methods. I'll touch on each one. First one being our online application. This is our recommended one. This is where you would request from us. You would contact your internal business development manager and request a personalized URL. When you have a personalized URL, it ties your advisor code to the online application. And then you just send that URL to your clients, and they can apply for an account whenever, wherever it's convenient for you. You do not need to be with them. You do not need to set up an appointment. You don't have to get a signature from them, and they can do it on their own, 5 minutes, and be done. I'm not sure if, depending what device you're viewing on, up here, it says recommended by. Once you have your personalized URL and your selling code is embedded in it, that will say your name. So for example, Vic, it would say recommended by Vic Raye, and he could take that URL and blast it to his clients. They follow the path, they open it, and he is tied as the advisor on record. He's getting compensation, and he is getting view of the account in terms of balances and being able to assist his clients.
Pam, an advisor is asking specifically on that advisor, the link. Can advisors set the link up on their, on their business website, and have that obviously coordinated on the back end, as you're saying, with their advisor code linked to that? So are they able to put that onto their website?
Yep. So once you get your personalized URL and click on the link, make sure it does say recommended by and your name. If you want to post that on your website for when your clients come to your website, and if you want to create like an apply now and make that button link to your URL, you absolutely can. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And yeah, absolutely. And when you are in touch with your IBDM to get your personalized URL, I do believe when they send it to you, they also send you a templated email with it embedded in that you can then just take that and already have your URL embedded and send off to your clients for you as well. They will provide you with that. Perfect idea. Just send it out, get your assistant to send it out, but it's already embedded in there. That's great. Yeah. So there's two, I'll call them paths of the online application. The standard one, online application, less than 5 minutes. They have to provide their client name and contact information. We use a system called Yoti. It's an identification software where that's what we use to validate their ID, and then they get their application. If it's an existing client of Manulife Bank who already banks with Manulife, banks online with us, they can get rerouted to what we refer to as the express application. So that question there, do you already have an account and bank with us online? They could select yes. What that does for them is it makes it even better, they sign into their online banking. They're presented with one page that presents their name and contact information and the terms and conditions. And they literally check a box saying, yep, this is correct, submit it. And they've got their Advantage account immediately. They could go back to their accounts. It is there. So it really can't get any easier than that. When I say that, though, we're always working in the background. We're constantly improving this. So while I think it's already great, we don't plan to stop here. We plan to keep going. What other products can we make available on this? And how can we make it faster and better and easier? So that's the online application. BankLink is essentially the online application for advisors. So clients don't use this. This is where you submit a digital application on behalf of their client. This gives you extra tools. It allows you to track the status of the application. There is logic built into the screen to help prevent errors. So if there's a mandatory field that's not completed, it'll give you a warning and tell you to go complete that field before submitting, to prevent, submitting an application, missing information, and having to go back and forth. If it's an existing client, it will also pre-populate their name, mailing address, date of birth, all that information to save you time. It also gives you the ability to save partially completed applications. Let's say you get started and then something comes up, you need to step away. It will still be there when you come back to pick it up from where you left it. And last, paper application. I know these are quickly becoming a dinosaur and not the preferred method. However, this is some people's still comfort wheel. They prefer paper. With our paper application, it does also give you the option to apply for multiple products at once. Do they want a savings account and a GIC, or maybe they're opening an Advantage account and also want to open up an RSP? You don't need to complete multiple applications. It's all in one package. You can submit it all at once. Are we good? Any questions on applications?
There is one. I don't know if it's specific to the application, but yeah, it's Ian's asking, do each of the business and personal Advantage accounts have a beneficiary designation?
Not on the non-registered products or business, but if you're opening, so these are the non-registered that the promos are on. However, we do have registered types. We have a TIFSA one, an RSP, and a RIF. On those, there is opportunity to designate beneficiaries or successor holders. So just a couple common questions we get with promotions. These are the one example about the interest calculated. This is the rate for the personal one. It applies, though, to the same with the business one. So how they can tell that they are earning the promo: when they sign into online banking, they will see the promotional rate, and either on their statement or their transaction history month end, they will get two postings. One will be their interest calculated at our posted base rate, currently 2.85, and then another one with the promotional rate, the 2.4. So the 2.85 and the 2.4 total the 5.25. One thing to keep in mind, if interest rates change while a promotion is currently on, it will impact the overall promotional rate. So if the 2.85 were to go down to 2.75, the promotional rate would go from the 5.25 to the 5.15. That 2.4 enhancement is what will stay consistent. We will continue to offer the additional 2.4, but if our regular posted rate changes at all, it will also change correspondingly. Another question that we get often is, what about withdrawals during a promotion? So when a promotion is on, any deposits obviously increase the balance in which we're calculating the promotional rate. Any withdrawals would be subtracted. So if the client makes a withdrawal during the promotional period, that will be reduced from the promotional balance for which we're calculating the interest posting for you. Another thing to keep in mind, if the client chooses to close the account before the promotion has expired, I would encourage them to maybe wait till the beginning of the next month. There will not be interest posted for the month in which the account was closed for the promotional rate. So if they think they absolutely need to close it, I would either wait till the promotion ends or wait till the beginning of the following month to ensure they get the full promotional rate. And we've already talked about this, or no, we didn't. We talked about splitting comp with another advisor. You also have the ability to defer some of your compensation in favor of your client's rate. So you can waive either half or all of your compensation and enhance the regular rate of the client. So let's say right now when you're earning 10 basis points, you do have the option, you could waive that, and your client would then start receiving 2.95 instead of 2.85. Now, and that feature, the only difference with that one is that is only available on non-registered accounts. We can't offer that on the registered accounts, so RSP, TIF, TFSA, and RIF. And this is the visual I was speaking to earlier about while the promotions are great, it's a great opportunity to start the conversation with your potential clients. It's also just as crucial to focus on what comes after. As you can see here, I took these rates as of a week ago. I don't believe there's been any rate changes in the marketplace since then. It's a wide range of interest rates that are available and not close together. That 100, 200 basis points difference can make a huge impact on the client, considering when the interest gets posted to the account and it compounds month after month, that base rate can really help propel the client further and make the most of their money. And last but definitely not least, I know from our last call in July, Vic was a big fan of this, so I can't not talk about it. The opportunity with selling these bank accounts gives you view to your clients. It gives you access to see what's sitting in their accounts to better offer them additional services, offer them alternative methods, check in on them if something is going really off. All of a sudden, they had a large sum, now their account's down to $5. What's going on? When you're in BankLink, you can generate a report and it will pull up all your bank business. You can filter it by product, but you can see everything. You can see their Manulife WIN accounts, their mortgages, their business accounts, their personal accounts, and it gives you their balance. So this is a great view into this otherwise black hole that if you clients manage their savings accounts on their own at a big five, you wouldn't have visibility into this. You wouldn't be able to see this. You couldn't contact the bank. You couldn't get that information. So this is just such a key tool to get that full view and fully service your clients from start to finish.
And Pam, I'm just going to jump in here for a sec because I think this is perfect timing. Thomas, I don't know if this is a question or more of a comment, but Thomas is saying, would love to hear how advisors seeing the changes in their clients' balances, especially a jump in cash flow, can be a great opportunity to reach out to set up a client meeting. So I think we can all agree on that. I think it's just perfect, a segue to what you're talking about just right here. And that is exactly that, is having those sight lines to those balances.
Yeah. Thomas, you're absolutely correct in that. Please spread the word. I am convinced that if the cash balances in these accounts were 10 times greater, your insurance business would be 10 times greater. Just a simple direct link between talking to the right people and meeting their needs. But it starts with talking to the right people. And I've heard from many successful advisors, very credentialed, great closers, if that's the right term. But back in the day, they were great cold callers, and that's what you had to do back then. This is the modern way to do it, to get in front of clients and make sure that you're always dealing with a nice list of people that you can reach out to with these balances. So we're at 1:59. Were there any other comments from you, Pam or Jessica or Joanne?
So I just was going to leave you with the final closing that at the bank, Manulife Bank, we consider ourselves a partner bank. We're not looking to throw a bunch of products at you and disappear. Our main thought is the products we can offer, coupled with your advice, can really help your clients get into a healthy financial situation. So this is just an overall chart of all the means available to you. You get a dedicated business development manager, an internal business development manager. If your part of your business is doing any of the specialized lending, we give you a specialist on that. We are constantly updating and evolving our online tools on Advisor Portal. And of course, we have a call center line dedicated specifically to advisors, separate from the client call center. So never feel you're alone. We're here. We want to help you. We want your feedback. How can we make things better? What are we missing? What can we do to collaborate to truly help your clients?
And I'll just jump in for one final comment here, Vic, and that is because we have obviously 2 simultaneous deposit promotions going on, as we heard today, there will be a reminder email going out tomorrow to all advisors, reiterating all of this information, rates, how you can get this information on the portal. So look for that. That's going to be sent out to all advisors tomorrow. Luke, over to you.
Okay, well, that was great. So just to recap, you've got 2 great rates, 5 and 5 1/4. Comp is going up in January. The URL for personal advantage accounts is the way to go. Just so easy. People do this on their own now. Back in the day, advisors had to do all of this themselves. It's like a 10-fold exponential increase in your productivity when the client does it using the URL. And then you've got the My Clients at the end to track it all. Sincerely, Pamela, Jessica, Joanne, I sincerely hope that senior management at Manulife Bank has been watching this presentation. This is what the success going forward for so many advisors is going to look like. This is the modern way to grow going forward, and I can't thank you enough. Everyone, thank you for joining. To all of our advisors, thank you very much for joining the call. Please reach out to me at any time. Also, your Manulife Bank Business Development Manager, as mentioned, we're here to help. And this is very much at the heart of what we're doing to help you at the front end, building up your clientele and your prospecting efforts. So again, have a great rest of your week. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks again, Vic.
Bye.
Thank you.